Back. We have a full house today as Carl is joining us. John's all excited about that.
The more the merrier.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
more the merrier.
Fresh meat, all that kind of stuff. I'm ready to go.
You a little nervous?
No, okay. Well, what I want to talk about today, because there was I got a bunch of comments over the last show that we did about the getting older and that type of deal.
Right.
And it kind of rolled into a flexibility thing. So I really want to talk about flexibility. And one of the things when we do today's segment, because we always jump into the workout.
Right.
It's like we talk and
That's
talk and
right.
talk.
Right.
The next thing you know, we just like jump into the workout. So I want you to understand that I don't want you to jump into the workout. I want you to warm up first. And the idea behind warming up first is it gives your body a chance to get warm, get loose, get flexible.
Be more flexible.
Be more flexible.
Right.
And
Because actually, what does that do? A lot of oxygen is circulating.
well, you increase the circulation of the blood because your body starts demanding more oxygen, okay? And as you do that, your heart rate increases. And as your heart rate increases, your temperature goes up. And as your temperature goes up, you become more pliable. And that is the point in time that you can actually increase your flexibility.
It's like
And-
starting that engine
Right.
and getting it up and running.
And everybody needs to do it to all different kinds of degrees. I mean, back when we were playing ball, we'd like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, we're
and
ready to roll.
as young as we were okay.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I have found, as we talked about before, is fitness through the ages. As you get older, that warm up needs to last longer, and it's important that it lasts longer.
Okay.
The other thing that is out there that really wasn't out there when we were growing up, I'm not going to talk about ages, is we were growing up. When you went to gym class, you may have done some jumping jacks, but you like hit the floor, and the next thing you know, you're like doing hurdler stretches and all that kind of thing on a cold muscle, which is not a good idea. It is not a good idea to try to stretch a cold muscle, just like it's not a good idea to try to exercise
What
on a cold
damage can be
muscle.
done?
Well, you can rip ligaments and tendons and all of those types of things.
which is not good.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
That's cute.
All of those things you can do.
You can do that.
So what the prevalent way of doing it now is you do something of some type of warm-up. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do a 3-stage physical warm-up,
Okay.
and then slowly begin to bring in some movements that we're actually stretching the entire body.
Okay.
So when we come back, this is going to be what I would like you to do, or a modification of it, because there's 50 million of them, but a modification of what they should do at home prior to going to the YouTube and seeing what we did on that day and going through those workouts. This is one of those things that should repeat over and over and over and over.
How long should
Okay.
you warm up?
It depends. It varies. And the reason I say it varies is like, I wasn't kidding. When we played before, we were
That's
in our
right.
early 30s.
Yeah.
We kind
I
of did
still
this
have a
and did
tendency
that.
just to get out there and go.
Right, and that's not a good idea. I mean, my warm up when I'm lifting weights, it used to be a 10 to 6, 10 to 10, here we go, and then
Here we
get
go.
after it. Now it takes me through a whole series of like 6 exercises before I go, okay, I'm warm now. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we've been working out for 15 minutes. So that's what we're going to do when we come back. We're going to
Okay.
go through a warm up.
I can touch my toe.
That's good. I can
good.
see your toe.
Yeah. We'll be back. Here's a look at our community calendar.
Okay, here we
Get
go. We're going to
loose.
start for the warm up.
Okay.
Very simple. We're going to do a slight hop variation. Mark, I want you hopping on both. Go ahead and start.
All right.
Get them hopping. I want you going back and forth like we talked about, and I want you swaying left and right. As you get into your sway, you can slowly pick up your knee a little bit as you want.
warming up, Carl?
But the
Somebody call 911.
Not yet, not yet, not yet. So the idea behind this is I am going to talk as we're going through this. Some of the things that you need to be careful, and there's a reason why I got him going left and right. He's going left and right because the hopping is a ballistic and kind of hard on the knees. I know that Mark has bad knees. So I have him on both feet so there's not quite so much pressure.
Right.
But what Francis is doing, depending on where you are, is exactly the same exercise.
Francis
but
gets it
as,
easy.
Well, to a point. Now, let's go ahead and go into the run, just a
Okay.
real simple run. Go ahead and kick your feet behind you and get your arms involved with it. While both of them are doing exactly a run, Francis is doing a very simple march, nothing crazy, nothing difficult, just marching straight through it. And again, your body is now asking for more oxygen, and as it
Right.
asks for more oxygen, the
And you
the
increase
blood
that heart
starts,
rate
yeah,
and-
increase the heart rate. Now the heat is coming up. We're going
Right.
to go from a regular run to a high knee. Bring those knees up high as you're running. There we go. Get the arms involved to start warming them up. And Frances is bringing her knee up as high as she possibly can. Notice what she is doing. Her hand is on the chair. There's a reason why the chair is there for what she is doing.
All right,
For
Carl.
some
You all
people,
right?
as they're going, they have a difficulty with stability. They have a difficulty with balance. But you can still exercise and do what you want and reach
Right.
over and touch that. Now, from this, we are going to stop, feet out wide. We're going to squat down
Okay.
and come back up. Put one hand on the chair. Just start squatting. Now, the idea behind this is now we're slowly loosening up the hips. One of the things, again, we
Yes.
talk about when we are doing the squats, our weight stays on our heels. We are never on our toes. And we rock back. Lean forward with your upper body as you're going down.
All right.
Now, Francis, I want you to turn. You guys keep going. Turn and face the chair. Grab it with both hands. And I want
How's
you to
those knees, Carl?
step to the left.
Good, good.
And now bend it. And then come back to the other side. Gentlemen, we're going to do the same thing. Carl, you can scoot this way a little bit. Take one foot and step it over. Back leg is straight. Go on
Okay.
down. And then back to the other side. So you're leaning left and right. Mark, you're going to leave
Same.
one leg straight.
Right.
And then
Well-
bend. And then come back to the other side.
Okay.
Back and forth. As you do this more and more, you slowly work on dropping that heel down and dropping your butt down as much as you possibly can.
Oh, there went my pants.
There we go.
Some great stretching.
joke.
Right. So
Wonderful
now
stretching.
we're along with your hips, we're also working in the groin area. We are doing the hamstrings at the same time.
Yeah.
Now you guys keep
Oh.
doing what you're doing. Francis, I want you to step to the side, put one foot in
Carl, you're
front,
gonna be ready
reach
for a half
back,
marathon. Yeah.
reach back
At
with your
least.
foot, way back with your foot, that's your back, way back, reach back with your foot,
Oh.
and squat
A
down,
little slow.
and then come back up. And then now the other foot. Gentlemen, I want you doing the same thing. So what
Okay.
you're going to do is you're going to step back
Okay.
and drop. Remember, our weight's on our heel. Come back up and do the same thing on the other side. There is a slight bit of strength going on with this at the same time. You may find that you may even begin to start a little bit of a sweat.
I've broken a sweat.
That's what I'm looking for.
We're all broken a sweat, I think, when we
Walking
first,
over
yeah,
here.
walking
Okay,
over here.
now let's go ahead and do a little upper body. Stand up and slowly, like a backward swim, like we're going through a swim. What we're trying to do is push some of that synovial fluid through
Okay.
as we're going through those shoulders. Come back to the other side.
Ooh, that
Same
feels good.
thing like you're doing a forward swim. Okay? Now this is my favorite that I like. Stick those arms straight out, palms are down, and do circles, little small circles. Just keep going over and over and over. The idea is to get circles in. Now, Mark, while you continue to circle, Carl, I'm going to have you reach under with your hand, grab your elbow, and pull it across. Francis, what I'm going to want you to do is reach up and grab that elbow and pull it behind your head. So you get the variations of, now circle in the other direction.
Okay.
Not just your hands, I want that whole
all right,
arm. I don't want
gotcha.
the little Tweety
on.
bird. So once you pull that across, now go to the other side
Okay.
and go to the other arm and do the same thing. Now, we have warmed up
Yes.
our legs and upper body. The only one thing else that I need is a set of push-ups, Carl. That's your turn. So now that your chest is getting warmed up at the same time. Keep going, buddy. Okay? So now, this is what we do prior
Right.
to whatever exercise you are doing.
And then we're ready. Yeah, we're ready to go.
Wonderful.
I like that.
Wow.
You're on.
Oh,
Carl,
you're
welcome
gonna be
to the
ready
fun.
for him
Oh,
next
yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, we're going to have
You
some
just
real
threw
fun
out
with it.
threw down the gauntlet.
you
And
go,
Carl, I'm
babe.
surprised you didn't say your pants ripped.
Oh, that was a
That
good one. Don, thanks.
Thank you.
More to come.
Heart palpitations.
Remember to turn your lights on before you enter the house.